General Manager for Casino Queen, and Mark Schlang, VP of Architecture for Bally's. Robin is going to speak to the updated floor plan and the amenities in the expansion, and Mark is available to respond to any questions the commissioners may have at this time on the construction of the project. Thanks.
Good morning, commissioners, Tina, and staff. So we did add some additional gaming space by enclosing our balcony. I did send pictures yesterday of what that currently looks like. There is an HVAC unit on there that is being removed off. So that will add that additional gaming space, as well as just utilizing that floor a little bit better to spread those machines out, give a little bit more room in between them. I know that there's been some concerns in the town about the construction kind of halting, but I want to assure you that has not happened. Even as we received those notifications, they were in the buffet doing the demo in there to start that remodel there. Next week, they're removing the HVAC system off the vestibule so that they can start the work there. So we're definitely continuing to work. We did run into some soil issues, so that will slow that a little bit until we get those results back, and then they'll determine how they're going to move forward from that. But that's not going to impact that completion date at this time.
Robin, for the record, what's the completion date?
December 5th.
Thank you.
And we have this in front of us, but sharing with the group that total square footage now after enclosing the balcony. I know we started at 16 and last time we were at 11 and now we're at
13,038, and so it's a total square footage increase of about 2,100 with that balcony. So it's considerable for a small casino.
I appreciate the fact that you went back to the drawing board and made some adjustments to expand that floor plan number. Are you happy though, like in the end with it? I would feel bad if you had to give up any design or just how it worked, how it functioned, just so you could hit a number for us.
No, we're very happy with it. You know, it allows us to spread out a little bit more, definitely there. We're still having all of the amenities that we were originally having. We're still having the same amount of slot machines, same amount of live tables, e-tables. Just lets us spread out a little bit more.
Okay.
Other questions?
I would move that we approve the remodeling plan.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming back and making the revisions. That's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
All right, we have 5 contracts that we need to approve, starting with SCE Partners. Doug?
Good morning, Doug Fisher, Hard Rock, Sioux City. I have one contract in front of you. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
I move we approve the contract.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Isle of Capri, Bettendorf.
Good morning, Sally Rogers at the Isle of Capri. We have one contract before you today, and I do have to say that we do understand the rules and the guidelines and the timing, and unfortunately this one slipped by us, so I apologize for the late submission, and happy to answer any other questions. Otherwise, we request your approval.
Any questions?
I appreciate the information in here about how and why that occurred, so thank you for that explanation. Sure. You know, no different than any violation of our policies. We usually ask what's been done to mitigate this in terms of the future, because it seems like this is mainly due to the fact that corporate was making some decisions without local control. So have those discussions been had at the property level? And
yes, we feel like we've built a little bit of a bridge, and we've kind of improved some communication that we obviously had a breakdown on. So, yep, I think we're all queued up and everybody's clear, and we should be good to roll forward.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Other questions?
I would move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dubuque Racing Association.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Rakestraw for Q Casino DRA. I have one contract for your approval, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Move we approve the contract.
A second?
A motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Riverside Casino and Golf Resort.
Good morning, Tina, Commissioners, IRGC staff, Damon John, General Manager of Riverside Casino and Golf Resort. I have one contract today. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Damon?
I move we approve the contract.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Thank you. Diamond Joe Worth.
Good morning, Commissioners, Tina, IRGC staff, Scott Smith, General Manager of Diamond Joe Worth. Before you have one contract for your approval, and happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
I would move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tina, I believe we have 6 hearings.
Yes, the first matter involves Circa Sports Iowa LLC, a duly licensed advanced deposit sports wagering operator in Iowa. This matter involves impermissible wagers. Specifically, Circa Sports Iowa offered multiple proposition wagers on a football game between Iowa and Michigan that were not allowed. A Circa Sports Iowa supervisor noticed during the game that 2 of the wagering markets were available and in Iowa and should not have been allowed. However, the matter was not immediately reported until after the prescribed 72-hour window, and about a month and a half later, it was determined that they had offered additional individual proposition wager markets in Iowa on the same game that were also impermissible. Some of those wagers were allowed to settle as a result of those impermissible wagers. As a result of those violations, Circa Sports has agreed to administrative penalty in the amount of $5,000 to $20,000, and I know Piper is here today, and she is here to answer any questions or give some additional comments.
Yes, good morning. Like she said, my name is Piper Carter. I'm here representing Circa Sports Iowa. I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak before y'all today. I hope that you'll find that our corrective action we put in place has been effective. We are manually approving all college prop wagers for all of our markets, so I think that's been effective in helping us reduce any future impermissible wagers. So happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, thank you for your time.
Questions?
I move we approve the stipulated agreement and administer a penalty in the amount of $20,000.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The second case involves Penn Sports Interactive LLC, a licensed advanced deposit sports wagering operator in Iowa. This matter has 2 counts. The first count involves a self-exclusion violation. An individual signed up for the self-exclusion program. As a result, he should not have been sent any promotional material. However, the licensee sent 2 promotional emails to this individual. In count 2, this involves an impermissible wager. The licensee offered 15 different men's college basketball games in which NCAA teams were playing against NAIA teams, which are not allowed. In total, 51 patrons placed a total of 69 wagers on these impermissible markets.
The licensee did not provide notification of this incident to the commission until after the prescribed 72-hour notification period. As a result of these violations, the licensee agrees to pay an administrative fine on count 1 in the amount of $5,000 to $20,000, and on count 2 in the amount of $5,000 to $20,000. And I know we have an individual from Penn Sports as well to address the commission and answer any questions you may have.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. While I wish the circumstances were a bit better, I do appreciate the opportunity to be here today. The only thing I would like to add is that these counts took place in the late 2023, early 2024 time period, so I'm pleased to say that our remediation efforts have been successful as we've had no repeat issues since then. Happy to answer any questions or provide any more information if you like.
Any questions?
What's your name?
Oh, Adam Cates, sorry, Vice President of Compliance for Penn Sports Interactive.
Do I have a motion?
I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate that mitigation's been taken place since then, but we did have another impermissible violation kind of just prior to this one that was October of 2023. So, this was kind of a second warning flag, I guess. So with that in mind, I will make the motion that we enter into the stipulated agreement on count 1 in the amount of $20,000 and then count 2 on the amount of $20,000.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Third case involves Grand Falls Casino and Resort. This matter involves 2 counts, both involving underage wagering. In count 1, an underage male walked past posted security officer who failed to request identification, which allowed the individual to enter the gaming floor unchallenged. A table games manager and a manager on duty subsequently observed the underage male on the gaming floor and believed him to look very young. Therefore, an identification check was performed. The security manager and the manager on duty determined the identification provided was fake. Specifically, the identification failed a Veridox scan, and it was unusually thick and was without a watermark. In addition, the underage male stated he did not know his age. In total, he was on the floor in total approximately 30 minutes and gambled at 4 slot machines. In count 2, this involved 2 underage individuals who gained access to the gaming floor separately, unchallenged on multiple occasions. The first individual gained access for approximately 3 hours and 45 minutes by jumping the closed gate at one of the podiums. He also gambled at several table games. The other individual was on the gaming floor for approximately 1 hour and 13 minutes. She gained access by climbing over one of the closed entrance gates and gambled at blackjack for almost an hour. She also came in contact with several facility employees. As a result of these violations, the licensee agrees to pay a penalty in count 1 of $20,000 and on count 2 up to $30,000. Sharon is here to offer comments and to answer any questions.
Good morning, Commissioners, Tina, and staff. Sharon Hazelhoff, General Manager and Vice President of Grand Falls Casino and Resort. First of all, I apologize for these incidences from 23 and 24. In the first incident, we had an officer where an ID should have been checked prior to entry onto the gaming floor, and then we failed to notify local law enforcement of the incidents per our controls. Complete failure on our part. However, I do want to give a kudos to our staff members who, did approach the person on the floor because they did look underage, and we do take that seriously, and we are proactive about asking individuals on the floor if they do look underage, and you can see that by this incident. We do that beyond the podiums. And we do continue to work on retraining our team members And we still have our quarterly outside training by a former DCI agent to help us with the ever-changing what to look for with an ID to help our team members with their continuing education. In the second incident, we had 2 individuals illegally gain access to our floor, and unfortunately, at no time did our team ask for their IDs until surveillance caught one of them illegally jumping a podium the last time. Our processes were not followed as they should have been while they were on the floor or after. We have taken steps to add additional alarms and notifications around the outer walkways and at the closed podiums to catch those illegal folks jumping our podiums. And just, you know, they're 40 inches, so you are a high jumper and really want to get onto the floor. And so we have added that additional security. I do know that our staff not paying attention allowed for these 2 underage folks to be able to gamble, and that should not have happened. In the future, our surveillance room will be notified if someone breaches a closed podium or the nearby wall with alarms in place now. Again, I apologize for these incidents. It's something we never want to have happen. We have great individuals working for us, and sometimes they make mistakes and not the right decisions. We own that. But we figure out what we did wrong, what may have gone right, and where the opportunities lie for improvement with each incident. We figure out where the retraining needs to happen or additional training, education, and sometimes it's a whole new process that needs implemented because what we're doing is not working. So I just want you to know we do review these, and we are paying very close to each one of these incidences, and we take it very seriously. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Sharon, knowing this has been a while ago, has there been anything since then? Do we have anything pending or out there?
I know we've had a couple of minors on the floor, but nothing, I believe, past the 30 minutes.
Okay. With that being said, I would make a motion to the agreed upon amount of $20,000 for the first offense, and on the second offense, since it was multiples, the $30,000.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
The fourth case involves Churchill Downs Technology Initiatives Company, which does business as Twin Spires as an advanced deposit wagering operator in the state. This matter involves a self-exclusion violation. As you know, licensees are required to verify that a player is not on the statewide self-exclusion list prior to establishing an account. In this case, the licensee was to remove any individuals who are excluded from their electronic promotional contacts to no longer receive any materials. In this case, the licensee self-reported that they sent 2 self-excluded individuals information. Actually, they sent, let me back up. Licensee self-reported to the commission that 2 self-excluded individuals had opened wagering accounts after the individuals had excluded. In addition, Twin Spires discovered 8 individuals' self-excluded accounts were not properly restricted after they had self-excluded, and also that 7 individuals were sent 343 promotional offers after they had self-excluded. Twin Spires did take steps to immediate technical steps to prevent this issue from reoccurring, but unfortunately was unable to do so before those actions had occurred. As a result of this violation, the licensee agrees to pay an administrative penalty of $5,000 to $20,000. And I know Andrew Silver from the company is here to make a statement and provide any feedback or answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Good morning, commissioners and staff. Appreciate the opportunity to be here, although I prefer to not be here for this reason, of course. I think just to add a little more color here, Churchill Downs and Twin Spires takes responsible gaming, self-exclusion, and our Iowa-specific obligations very seriously. This is an issue that we discovered in December 2023 and immediately self-reported. Just to be more clear, this was a system-wide issue. This was a technical flaw that we discovered, some accounts where if the accounts were already blocked in our system for another reason, namely if they were locked for having too many failed login attempts, using not the right password, when they were searched against the Iowa database, the blocked flag wasn't modified to reflect self-exclusion, so they just remained blocked for bad password. The upshot is that these accounts could later come back in and use the reset my password function and successfully do that. And ultimately, we're very disappointed that one account was able to place wagers before we discovered this issue. But we discovered this, self-reported in December 2023. I believe it's been corrected and have not observed any issues since. I'm happy to answer any additional questions.
Any questions?
I don't. I would move to approve the stipulation with a penalty in the amount of $20,000.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The fifth case involves Ameristar Casino Council Bluffs. This matter is a self-exclusion case. Licensees are again required to upload and download information into the self-exclusion system once every 7 calendar days. In this case, Ameristar failed to upload 2 self-exclusions into the self-exclusion system in a timely manner. One was uploaded 1 day late and one was uploaded 2 days late. As a result of this violation, the licensee has agreed to pay an administrative penalty in the amount of $5,000 to $20,000. Misty from Ameristar is here today to provide some additional information and answer any questions.
Good morning, Commissioners and Tina. Misty Wilburn, Deputy Chief Compliance Officer for Penn Entertainment. As Tina mentioned, I'm here for Ameristar Casino regarding the violation she described. First, I'd just like to say that obviously Ameristar takes its commitment to responsible gaming very seriously, and we understand the critical importance of timely uploads of these forms. Ameristar normally has 3 individuals on property that are trained and have the necessary access to conduct this task. Unfortunately, back in August, the property had a period of time where 2 of those positions were vacant, leaving 1 individual with the access. More unfortunate is the fact that that individual went out of office for a short period of time and the property did not take into consideration a backup plan. New enrollments at the property are not a daily occurrence. They're sporadic at best. Ameristar on average probably might do 1 or maybe 3 in a month. So it was an oversight by the property that we take full accountability for. When that individual returned to office, there were 2 forms waiting. As Tina noted, one was already a day late, the other one was 2 days late. They were immediately uploaded. The IRGC was immediately notified. We immediately identified an additional individual to train and get the access for backup in that moment. And then shortly thereafter, the 2 additional positions were filled. So now Ameristar has 4 individuals with the access and the training. And I'm comfortable that this is not something that we're going to see happen again as a result of a staffing challenge. Happy to answer any questions.
Your 4th person, is that individual at a higher level managerially, or how do you?
Yeah, we have 3 people in compliance and an additional person in security. 2 managers, 2 line levels. Yep.
Other questions?
All right, I move we accept the stipulated agreement and administer a penalty of $5,000.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The last case involves IOC Blackhawk County, Inc., which operates a casino in Waterloo. This is also a self-exclusion case. In this matter, an individual contacted the casino regarding the status of his 5-year statewide self-exclusion ban, which was completed in June of 2018. At that time, it was discovered that the 2018 form had not, in fact, been uploaded into the system in violation of the rules. As a result of this violation, the licensee agrees to pay an administrative penalty in the amount of $5,000 to $20,000. Chad Moyne from the facility is here to provide additional comments and answer any questions.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, Commissioners, Tina, and staff. Chad Moyne, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Isle Casino Hotel Waterloo. With this incident, again, it occurred back in 2018, and the security leadership team that we had in place at that time struggled to stay in compliance with multiple regulations revolving around security. So in late 2019 through early 2020, that entire security team, leadership team, has been turned over, and we have an entire new security leadership team in place, which is much more robust with staying in compliance with regulations, training, staffing, and so on. So we feel that with better leadership in place, that this situation has been corrected and prevented from happening in the future. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions?
Chad, has there been additional look back since this one was discovered 6 years later, and you are acknowledging maybe there was an issue in staffing at that time? Has there been additional look back to make sure additional ones of these have not been missed? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I did instruct our current security manager to look back and make sure that we didn't have any other situations like this, and to my knowledge, there hasn't been any other ones.
Other questions?
I'll make a motion that we enter into the stipulated agreement in the amount of $10,000.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this point in time, we have the deposition of application by Cedar Rapids Development Group, LLC, and Lynn County Gaming Association to establish a gaming structure in Lynn County. Tina, could you lay out specific criteria based on our rules for commissioners to consider when making a decision?
The commission established criteria for considering a new casino license is detailed in Iowa Administrative Code, specifically Commission Rule 1.7. Briefly summarized, the criteria includes compliance, gaming integrity, economic impact and development, efficient and safe operation of the proposed facility, community support, and other factors that may arise in the circumstances presented by a particular application. I would note that the rule also includes a portion for racing, but that is not a consideration in this application.
Thank you much. I'm going to ask each commissioner to just give a brief statement on their thoughts and looking at this application. We're going to go alphabetical and then obviously skip over me as chair, and I'll go last. And at that point in time, after that, then we'll ask for a motion. Commissioner Andres.
Andres, that's me first. I want to begin by expressing my gratitude to any individuals who took the time to express their enthusiastic position on this matter before us today. Know that your comments, letters, emails, conversations matter to me in this decision. And I've loved the passion that you all have on both sides. The decision to add a casino in Cedar Rapids has been, for previous commissions, a difficult one. And this time, for me at least, has proven to be no different. There's no way we're going to make you all happy today. Part of the reason I believe is that we have a high quality standard in Iowa, and the nature of our existing casinos show that. That makes the concept of cannibalization hard to accept as we balance what we expect out of our licensee against how many casinos there ought to be in a market. I do not believe a net gain in total gaming revenue or tax revenues alone is enough to warrant another license in the state of Iowa. A general expansion of gaming in our state, for me, is not good for us. There does come a time when more is not more. Ultimately, I considered the market analyses conducted by Marquette Advisors and Innovation Group, presentations and information provided by both current licensees as well as the Cedar Rapids Development Group, the QSOs, the nonprofits, and a myriad of other stakeholders that participated in this. I also considered the amenities contained in the existing licenses in the market, as well as those proposed by a Cedar Crossing project. Not only are there amenities, mind you, but what are they? What's the quality of them? And is there a differentiation in them between markets? You've heard about the criteria we can consider in this decision. No, the Cedar Rapids project meets and exceeds a lot of them. These are high hurdles. Criterion number 1.7, parentheses 3, is economic impact and development. And forgive me, because God knows we've seen lots of numbers. But gaming revenue at Cedar Crossing Casino in 2028 is projected to be, depending on if you think you want to listen to Innovation or Marquette, $116 million by Innovation and $118 million by Marquette. I was impressed, honestly, by how close those numbers were by the folks that studied them. The financial impact to Cedar Rapids in job growth, grants to nonprofits, and revitalization of the area are understandable, but at what cost to the other casinos in the area? Again, the studies were very close in their projected cannibalization rates, 47.8 by Innovation and 45.6 by Marquette. I know it's a lot of numbers, but in the end, not only does Cedar Rapids improve their position, the studies both demonstrated that the proposed facility would result in a net gain of Iowa gaming revenue of between $60 and $64 million, depending on which study. Both, again, quite close. The studies also both projected a statewide gaming tax revenue increase of around $10.5 million. I don't think a project that is desired by a local community gives that community an opportunity to thrive and develop, meets and even exceeds our standards for quality of design and amenities, and then provides a unique and differentiated product in the market, and provides a net gain of revenues to our state, should be denied. For those reasons, I will vote yes to grant this gaming license to the Cedar Rapids Development Group, together with their qualifying QSO in Linn County.
Thank you, Commissioner Burkhart.
You might have thought it was not a gift to go first, but you got to say a lot of the things I planned to say today. So I'm going to turn these prepared comments over and tell you a story about when my son was 4 years old. He bopped into our bedroom one morning and he put his hands like this on his chins and he said, "Tell me everything you know." And that's impossible. And asking why I'm going to vote a certain way today is equally as impossible, because as Julie so well articulated, there are numerous factors that have played into this decision, and I like my fellow commissioner, just want to thank everyone on truly both sides of the aisle, as it's laid out here today, for the time that you've spent in helping me to truly understand the impact of my decision today, and understand your communities and your facilities and proposed facilities very well. So thank you very much for those opportunities to learn and grow. In that moment with my son, I knew I had the attention span of a 4-year-old, and I had to speak quickly about a few things that matter most to me, and that's what I'm going to do today and stay succinct with my comments. I'm a marketer. I've practiced marketing for over 25 years, and every day I consult with clients on issues such as those discussed at this moment: market share, market saturation, product differentiation, growth strategies, messaging. And it flies in the face of my professional integrity to say that this would not be a green light project. I would not look at this for a client that I represent and say that this doesn't have a good chance to succeed. That said, I'm also a Southeast Iowan, and this project comes nearest to me than any commissioner geographically. It's been challenging because I have been contacted by numerous individuals who I greatly respect and admire that are in the business community that I live, work, and play. And I understand that any decision I make today has an opportunity to impact their lives and financial well-being. So at the end of the day, I have to ask myself, what is my job and what is my role here? And unfortunately or fortunately, this commission is not laid out in a way in which people are appointed to represent a specific geographical area. And so I really do have to, for my personal integrity, look at that I am an Iowan today and not representing a particular area. And looking at the state of Iowa, and I won't requote the numbers, but all I see is net gain. I see net gain in terms of tax revenues for our state. And very telling, those same two studies, which did come out very closely, showed decline if Cedar Crossing is not implemented, showed decline in state tax revenues due to competition in our border states, which is beyond the control of this commission. Shows net gain to nonprofits. There will be some redistribution of that throughout areas of our state as some QSOs possibly have less funds to work with, and a new QSO would be formed that would have additional resources. But the net gain to our state is significant and in excess of $4 million. And something I don't feel has been discussed at all is how it affects all Iowans in multiple counties from border to border in the percentage of tax revenue that goes into county endowment funds and is distributed amongst those 84 counties across our state based on our tax revenues. So again, as an Iowan, net gain in that category as well. With all that, in conclusion, I will be voting today in favor of the Cedar Crossing project. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gamble.
Thank you, and I wish I had the gift that you two can speak so articulately when you share your message here. Before moving forward, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who took the time to meet with me, provide feedback, and submit letters or other forms of information. While I've done my best to respond to as many correspondence as possible, please know that I've read every letter and deeply appreciate the insights shared with me. A question that has surfaced from several individuals, whether this decision would open Pandora's box for gaming in Iowa. I want to assure everyone that I do not believe that this would be the case. As a commission, we have worked diligently to evaluate this application and will continue to approach all future applications with the same level of thoroughness and care. After conducting a careful review of the various studies, I can confidently say that the market has the availability to support this project. These studies also indicate that there will be market shift. However, it's important to note that every gaming license issued in Iowa has experienced some degree of cannibalization or market share redistribution, yet the industry continues to thrive. It's a reality that many licensees were aware of when they applied, fully understanding that temporary shifts might occur. Despite these shifts, Iowa gaming has remained robust and successful. A key topic raised in discussions is the distribution of dollars generated from 99F and 99D funds. Upon review, it's clear that these funds tend to concentrate in a limited number of counties. A more equitable distribution of these funds across the state could provide a wider range of communities with the opportunity to benefit. I also fully understand the concern that this new license could potentially reduce funding for current qualified sponsored organizations. However, I view this as a similar concern to market shift. While some funding may shift temporarily, the overall pool of QSO dollars will increase as a result of this new license. This growth in funds will ultimately benefit the broader community. It's crucial to emphasize that this is a completely different project from those considered in previous years. The proposed project has met all the necessary licensing requirements and provides an opportunity for new economic and social benefits across the state. In conclusion, after carefully consideration and review, I am confident that issuing this license to Lynn County Gaming will be a positive step forward for Iowa, and I will be supporting this vote.
Thank you. Commissioner Osterman.
Well, it's a bit anticlimactic to be the fourth person to go. So I want to echo the thanks that have been given to Tina and the staff. They've done an exemplary job in managing the flow of information from obviously the applicant, but we've gotten thousands of pages to review. And I really appreciate from the applicant how detailed the application packet was, and I appreciate the information we got from people who were opposed to that application. And we heard from very sophisticated individuals and enterprises and ordinary islands. And I think that's really important. My review of this, we all have different perspectives, different backgrounds here. I can't not be a lawyer when I look at this, and so I'm going to look at this as a lawyer. My concern is the same thing I had 2 weeks ago, and that is, the first thing we have to look at in our criteria are whether the applicant is in compliance with the terms and conditions specified in Iowa Code Section 99D9 or 99F4. And the issue of the validity of the Linn County referendum that we discussed at length 2 weeks ago is still present. And that has not been resolved to my satisfaction. And so I don't believe that this commission has the legal authority to issue this license. Obviously, I'm one of 5 votes up here, and that position has not carried any support. And we'll see how that plays out. But I also want to comment on what I see as the other factors here briefly. In looking at the quality of the application and the proposed QSO and operator, I think they're exemplary. I think it would be a very high-quality operation. I was impressed by everything I saw from the application and the support in the Linn County community. Just as I was very impressed by what I saw in the Washington County community and in Waterloo and Dubuque and other places, Scott County, other places, the strong connection between gaming and the community in our state, I think, is remarkable. I will confess I wasn't personally looking forward to going to our big public forum in Cedar Rapids in November, and I was really glad by the end of it that we did it. We heard from people all over the place. Everyone I thought was, almost everyone I thought was sincere in their comments and passionate and believed in their community, and it was gratifying to see so many people who are involved in so many nonprofits in all these different communities. That's what makes America great, is that we solve problems by people getting together and working cooperatively to help kids, help the community, clean up creeks and streams, whatever the nonprofits project is. I think it made me feel good at the end of it. I want to comment, though, on one of the comments that we received during that, because I think it's a good way to frame how we make this decision today. And I was very offended by the comment, actually, from the senior VP and manager of our Blackhawk County property, who told us, asked us to think about this morning, asked us to think about looking in the mirror and how we would feel if we granted this license. An appeal to raw emotion. And I was offended by that as a commissioner. I thought it was terribly inappropriate. Nobody here is making a decision based on emotion. We're making this decision based on what we see the facts are. We didn't make that decision based on emotion when we handed down one of the largest fines in the history of this commission against that facility for systemic security problems. That was not an emotional decision. That was based on facts and law. And even though I personally disagree with the vote that my fellow commissioners are making this morning, I don't think they're making this decision based on emotion. I think they're making it based on their honest assessment of what they see the facts are. And they see it differently than I do, and that's fine. But it's not based on emotion, and I condemn the comment that we received back in November. That was inappropriate. I come down differently on how this nets out. I think when we look at the the size of our gaming industry and the amount of cannibalization, I think, I did the math this morning. Probably what we're seeing when you balance out all these factors is a potential increase to the state general fund of tax revenue of roughly 0.12 of a percentage point. And I personally would come down on not disrupting our existing operators to that extent based on that negligible increase in revenue to the state as a whole from this. We are a million miles away from a free market here. And we did not ask as a commission to be put in the position of a command economy, but here we are. And since we're placed in that position, we have to make those decisions. I think the cannibalization would be too much, but I can also count, and I think we'll find out. And I hope that I will be proven wrong on that. But I think we're going to disrupt what is currently in existence too much for the benefits to the Lynn County community, which I think will be considerable. So I intend to vote no for those reasons.
Thank you. Well, the disadvantages of being last is everything has already been said. So,
but as Mark Twain said, not everyone has said it yet.
That's right. Hopefully, I will start as chair in saying we are aware of the argument that the commission doesn't have authority to grant a license because of the wording of the 2021 referendum in Lynn County. But just to address that up front, after consulting with our legal counsel and representative from the AG, a majority of the commissioners are satisfied that we have the authority to move forward and make this decision. So with that, each one of us as commissioner brings a unique set of skills and perspectives. I'm a science-based professional. I can't help it. That's me. I've always been much more objective in my decision-making, and I'll continue to follow that decision path moving forward today. In our rules that Tina read earlier, 99F7, the commission shall decide the number, location, and type of gaming structures and excursion boats licensed under this chapter. And it does give 7 criteria, she said, and that to me is what I had to look at. That's why I was appointed to this commission, to look at the rules and follow the rules, take any emotion or thoughts out of that. And the criteria are compliance. I have no concern that this facility will be totally compliant. They've proven that in the past. Gaming integrity, again, I have no concerns. They've proven this in the past. Economic impact and development. And that includes amount of revenue provided to state and local communities. That's positive. Financial support to improve quality of life for residents of the community. And this facility is returning the highest percentage to their QSO of any other facility. It's hard to argue that that isn't a positive. When we look at viability and overall net benefit of the proposed operation of the state gaming industry, investment versus AGR, a strong positive. Impact on existing operations, yes, there will be market shift. That is the one negative to this project that I can look at it, and it is a negative. And that bothers me, but I can't let one negative stand in the way of all the other positives. When I look at efficient and safe operation, community support, strong nurture of the racing industry, it doesn't apply. And then it says other factors, and that's up to me then to determine what other factors there are. And to me, it's very important, and I think I've been consistent on that in my term on this commission. Does the gaming facility provide more than gaming? If this was just another gaming facility, I'd be voting no. But this provides so much more. It provides amenities, restaurants, 1,500-person venue for entertainment, arts and culture center, STEM lab. It is so much more. It's unique, and it provides much more than gaming, and that's so important to me. I look back in 14 and 17 and said, how would I vote in 14 and 17? Because that's, we're going to be challenged on that. I mean, other commissions said no, and it appears this commission is going to say yes. I think I would have voted no in 14 and 17 because all at that point in time it was a casino. And this is much more. So understanding there's only one criteria is negative, and I understand that, but so many are positives that I will be voting in favor of this application today. Now, in conclusion, I have a couple things I'd like to add. I'd like to thank the Iowa legislators for trusting this commission, for allowing the process to proceed as I believe it was intended. This commission, all along I said, will regulate, and we do not legislate. But today we're allowed to regulate, and thank you. I appreciate that very much. And as Mark touched on, thoughts that this decision will open floodgates, in my opinion, is totally wrong. I mean, the last license was issued more than 10 years ago. It's been a long time. And Lynn County makes sense to me. Everything about it makes sense. But to be honest with you, other locations to me don't. I look today and I sit and say, where else could we look at? And I'd love to start over. Wouldn't it be fun to just wipe everything clean and say, we're going to put them here, 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 and here, and they all make sense? But we don't have that option as a commission. We have to look at what we have today and how best to look at what's best for the future. So and last, I'd like to say, and this is a little off this application, but yesterday we met with the stakeholders, the horsemen and the stakeholders in the horse industry. And that's something that's near and dear to this commission, but especially to this commissioner. And, one thing I think about, people are talking about, well, could there be a potential for a casino in western Des Moines? I sure hope not. This facility here provides so much. I mean, it's a nonprofit, $50 million back to the community, and what it provides in gaming taxes. But what it provides is the ability for us to have a racetrack. And without this facility and the support that it gets, we would not have racing in the state of Iowa, and that would make me very sad. So I hope commissioners in the future will keep that in mind and understand that we need to protect this, because without it, we wouldn't have horse racing, and that would make me very, very sad as a veterinarian. So with that in play, I will be voting yes today on this proposal.
Honorable Chair, I would move to grant the application to Lynn County Gaming Association Incorporated to conduct gambling games, and the application by Cedar Rapids Development Group, LLC, to operate a gambling structure in Lynn County, along with approving all the agreements contained in this application and subject to the conditions established by staff. Tina?
The license is conditioned on the following: an initial license period of February 6, 2025 through January 31st, 2028, payment of the first installment of the license fee within 30 days, posting of a bond in the amount of $1 million, the completion of necessary IRGC licensing and DCI backgrounds for all additional personnel and entities, obtaining all required state and local approvals for construction of the project in the proposed location in accordance with Iowa Administrative Code Rule 4915418, approval by the Commission and by DCI of an appropriate security emergency response plan and surveillance plan, approval by Commission staff of all internal controls and regulatory requirements prior to opening, a status report of any construction progress and anticipated construction timeline to be presented at the June 2025 Commission meeting, including written documentation submitted in accordance with Commission rules, and substantial completion of the entire project by April 30, 2027 in essentially the same form as represented to the Commission. The Commission has the sole authority to determine whether this condition has been met. The gaming floor may be open to the public only after substantial completion of the entire project. If the project is not completed by October 31, 2027, a fine in the amount of $61,780.82 per day will be instituted.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second. We will do a roll call vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Burkhart. Aye.
Commissioner Campbell.
Aye.
Commissioner Ostrom.
No.
And Commissioner Chair Olson.
Aye. Motion carries. Do we have any public comments?
No.
No public comments? Any administrative business?
None.
With that said, I consider this meeting adjourned.